Alright, yo. Final game here. This game needs no introduction. Let's hop in. This is game 3 of the finals. The winner takes it all, wins the entire wild card tourney, and a lot at stake here. Arnold going for his second tourney win, season win. Extra Large Take going for their first season win, but has made to the finals every single tourney that they've been in this year. That is crazy, and has never won. So we'll see who wins, right? Luck will definitely be a factor, but the winner of this wins it all and takes the crown and the glory, right? First placement here is blue again. So 3 times in a row, blue gets first placement. Is it a big advantage? It kind of depends on the board, I would say. First is not always an advantage. It really just depends on the board. So blue here does get to go first, and I see very strong or wheat brick at the bottom right. So I think that'll be the wisest first spot. You can probably get wooden sheep. You may not, but I don't want to give up on. Yeah, I don't want to give up. Like, I'm okay to give up on one of the resources, but not like, when there's ore and wheat right next to each other. Like, that's just a city producing spot, right? So those are really important. And red here going immediately first for a low ore spot. And a lot of sheep production gets access to all 5 resources here. So not bad. But needs to get to some ore. That'll be the key for them in this game. So let's see what happens. Yeah, and extra large tip probably places at the bottom left there. It will be a head-on-head matchup. Would be kind of funny. But could certainly do something weird and go for the 5, 6, 11. Get a free road and do some wonky stuff, right? It could point up and then have the spot on the 9 sheep that red would probably never want to go to anyways. So could definitely access some sheep that way and get some extra road production and ore production, and more importantly just kind of cover the entire bottom of the board with their settlements. So we'll have a lot of space to work with. Red here probably is trying to go to the 8-10 on the left and the 8-4-3 on the right. But ideally would want to get to that 9 ore. Probably won't be able to. In which case, ports are going to be key. And here doesn't... Okay, so similar to what I said, but not the same, right? It doesn't even want the extra ore. Just goes directly for 2 wood. So knowing how important road building is in this game, wants to ensure that they're able to secure that road building material early on. So 2 woods in hand early on. Hasn't placed any roads, not really being forced to, because blue is definitely counting cards and knows that red does not have any wood in hand. And so can't build any roads, right? Now trading 4 for 1 for the 1 sheep that they need to settle, and we'll probably settle here very soon. I think definitely can settle. I think a 10 has rolled. A 10 hasn't rolled actually, so waiting on the wheat to roll. So waiting on a 10 to be able to settle here for blue. Man, and an amazing first choice for a settlement. Actually, I was thinking of going directly for the sheep spot, but red never wants the sheep spot, so definitely go immediately for the extra ore, corner off that 9 ore. Red can never get to it for this game. It's gonna be a tough game for red unless they can get to a port. So let's see what happens. and Arnold here complaining about the rolls, which is nothing new if you know Catan. So the rolls are very much a part of the game, and they swing back and forth, right? Sometimes they help you, sometimes they hurt you, and that's just part of the game. And at the end of the day, you just have to play the best game you can, and put yourself in a position to succeed, and that's all you can do. And here, making the cutoff happen. So now fighting back, I love it. Knowing that blue gets no sheep, cuts off access to that sheep spot completely. And now blue's going to go for that 3-for-1 port so that they are going to be able to self-sustain in some way. Now obviously has that wood port as an option as well. So a lot of interesting things. I think blue will take a road here again for this game. And might go for that wood port. That would be an interesting strategy from them. But here, just going for the efficient settlement so far, which I can't super disagree with. I mean, these are really good production spots, so it doesn't hurt at all. And that robber is painful for blue, but very good for red. And we're looking okay. I mean, the 8-3-10 settlement really hinders our space that we can absorb, but stealing our only beat, but now we move it back. Yep, makes sense. And get the wheat back. There you go. And now it can probably road somewhere, but again, needs to find a way to get to that port. I think 3-for-1 port with the 8-10 sheep and wheat on the left makes a lot of sense, but might be too little too late, honestly. I'm going for a different spot, probably going for that sheep port, which is fair. Fair play. Just takes so long. Okay, so a settle here gets us back into it, but it's a pure 6 against a pure 4 and 12 cards in hand for blue. It's looking rough. I think it gets a city or a city. City. I was gonna say a city or a road settle, but city it was. So really good shape for blue. Just doing really well. Just needs to bring it home here and can feel it, honestly. I bet he can feel it. Been in a lot of tourneys, a lot of finals, has performed just so well, but can't ever seem to get past that last step, until maybe this game, if blue is able to close it out here. And red takes army, so it's close again. But again, blue has 4 roads, can connect. Has better road building too, honestly. I'm gonna play the knight here again, and hope for the best. But I think blue's in really great shape. Like 3 cities already is kind of crazy, and not even sitting on the 9-5-10, which is even more absurd to me. But the reason for that is because they want to have, they don't really care about 3 of anything. They want 2s of everything, so that's why they're going for that. But yeah. It's looking rough, I think. I mean, the mono doesn't really help because it's a one-on-one game, so the mono is just fewer resources to produce, so you just don't get as much from them. it's looking rough, right? As long as the robber can stay on the 9, there's a chance, but it has to stay on that 9, and that's the real question here. And the other real question is who's going to waste their roads to connect, right? I mean, it wouldn't be a waste if you got it to connect, but you got to place 3 roads here that lead to nothing for both sides to connect their 2 sides together and pretty much ensure longest road for themselves, right? So who's going to do that? Both are at 4 roads here, and a plow, and a brutal plow, and that's a really good mono, but can't do anything with this, right? So just gonna have to buy another dev. Not super exciting, and that's an insane plow at an awful time. Just when the door could have been slightly open, just completely cuts off red from any semblance of ore production. No port in sight, and the discards just come at this point because you have the production, but you just can't consolidate it with the ports to make it usable, and so then you 7 out. And then in this case it's 9 cards, but you get over 9 too, right? So now saving for a city, it looks like, but needs another 11 to hit, and that's going to be a tough ask. And it's monoing the 2 ore away, and it's just a brutal game for red here. And I mean, going over 9 here again, and it's a matter of how blue chooses to do this rather than when. But red's a sitting duck here for sure. And is able to city finally. I think you should city on the 9, 10, 5 on the top left, but instead buys 3 dev cards, which I honestly can't even be mad about, because dev cards provide you some wild action that cities don't give you, and that's the best thing you can do is swing for the fences here, and also you defend your army race, so it makes sense. It's totally justified. I'm not even sure what blue is going for here, but definitely has the confidence that they'll get the win at this point, I think. Okay, so just going for the purely best settlement spots, which is okay, but you just don't need to do it. But going out with a bang, for sure. 13 cards in hand, 2 dev cards in hand, and won the game. And just like that, ladies and gentlemen, we have our wild card tourney champion. Extra large hit, well done. An amazing series, went the full 3 games, and the last game just extra large hit just went absolutely ham, and the resources, it was just a complete landslide, and it was incredible to watch, honestly. I think people have been honestly waiting for this moment for a long time to see this guy come through after so many close, hard-working losses. So it's been exciting to see that journey and see it finally happen for him. So congrats, and I mean, after this we have one more tourney, the wheat tourney, before the end of the year, and we'll be back to that and the bracket for that. It'll be a forest tourney, but for now, congrats to our champion, Extra Large Tit, for winning the wild card tourney of the elite circuit. See you next time. Peace.